The concept of being a reader means the ability to read a text with a comprehension of the words and sentences in their intended form. I would say that I am a reader who seeks to understand the words in front of me and find pleasure in any and all readings. To be a writer is the ability to write in complete and coherent sentences to portray a meaning. My love of writing stemmed from my love of reading as a child. My earliest recollections of reading, other than being able to identify the Volvo on my mother's car at a very early age, come from my parents reading Goodnight Moon to me as a child. My earliest recollections of writing are harder for me to identify, but the best example I can think of comes from writing my 5th grade autobiography, in which I described various aspects of my life in great detail. My mother introduced me to the wonders of the Huntington Beach Public Library, where I have been a resident member since 1995. As a child, I went to the kids section of the HBPL and read various books, while checking out numerous books that I read and reread. When I got older, my parents bought me a Barnes & Noble membership so that I could add my favorite books to my personal collection. My interest in reading grew as I read more and more biographies on famous historical figures, as well as history books on various events. I began expanding from biographies written for children to more advanced level biographies. By comparing the differences, I was able to see and learn how to advance my own writing level by attempting to copy the prose of these biographies. As a future teacher, I will always be a reader and writer. I would describe myself as an avid pleasure reader. I admit that I read for pleasure more than I do for research. I just recently read all 5 books in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. Through pleasure reading, I research what motivates authors to write their stories and seek more information about their characters. As a reader and writer, I think I can encourage my future students to find books to read that interest them and encourage them to write. I plan on looking for some of my old writings when I was in 7th and 8th